Time is a very important factor. One, it's a project for PhD is not one that can, for example, be rushed over, a short period of time, because you need to engage with theory, you need to engage with, with other scholars as well within the space to build that knowledge base. So firstly is that there's minimum required time, which is 2 years to complete a PhD when you are studying full time. Then also, it shouldn't be a project that goes on and on forever as well. So there's need for capping of the time. We have an expectation that within 3 to 4 years, one who is studying full time should be done with the project.
I think it's taking some students quite a lot longer to sort of finish on time. We often see, I think the average to complete a master's degree, even if you're doing it full time, is like 2.5, 3 years as opposed to the 2 years. And I think that comes down to a lot of things. I think it's linked very much to the challenges of, postgraduate education. So very often masters and doctorate students are working at the same time, so trying to find time to actually focus on their thesis or even coursework, if it's a coursework masters, is quite difficult, and that does take a lot of time.
We have said to our students, if we're doing masters full time, it's 1 year. If it's masters part time, it could be 2 years. If it's PhD full time, it could be 2 years. If it's part time, it could be 3 years. So it is that we want to keep to sit with that student on pipeline, they finish. What we also tell students, they shouldn't be their liability to the institution. So as a result, we invest a lot in terms of supervision strategies, looking at modalities of supervision, so that we ensure that students are assisted as they enter the system. They will anticipate when they are going to finish.
So we do need to kind of find ways to support students through that, try and help them manage their time a bit better, the work-life balance type stuff. Also making sure that they're taking time to care for themselves. I mean, we see a lot of students at masters and doctorates sort of reaching burnout because they're trying to do too many things. So I think, supporting students a lot more. I think also the jump even from an honors to a master's and then from master's to a PhD is quite big, and students aren't often prepared for that. So it takes them quite a lot of time to settle in as well. So it's those kind of things we need to sort of start looking at in order to help them complete on time and give them the support that they need to complete on time.
So the most important thing is the working relation between the supervisor and the supervisee, and also giving the very background for the student, because most of our students, they don't have professional masters or professional degrees to say. So if they had professional degrees, it was going to be very easy. But now we need to invest most of the time, and we strongly believe on face-to-face with our students. We do run sometimes webinars for our students. We also done something like, because most of our students from the education sector, most of our students are working as teachers. So if we do something during the course of the week, you might not find them all. Then what we came up with a strategy is that during June when schools are closed and December when schools are closed, we have conduct sessions to capacitate our students and even our supervisors. So we call that Smart Doc. That is Masters and Doctoral Week. So it helped us. We have reaped a lot of benefit through those projects, through those interventions. So I think in most cases, what I'm driving is we need to say we put more input factors so that we yield good result at the end. So the strategies, I think monthly we run workshops for both supervisors and students to make sure that the throughput is controlled. So we're not just technically correct, but the thing is we need to ensure that we have invested the right personnel for our right students.
To manage that, there's a number of factors that come into play. One is that we have the resources and all the kind of systems in place to ensure that students are supported from the time that they enter the system, from the induction of the student to the postgraduate space. You need that so that a student is well prepared, aligning the expectations, what is required out of the postgraduate, like what is the very much outcome that is expected there. When you align that, it's much easier now to manage the process. And when funding is made available, whether internally, like my institution also provide internal funding to support the student, or also support them to get funding outside. That helps also students to be very much focused. And activities that happen on campus, like workshops and any webinars, seminars that actually engage the students, it helps them to keep active on their research project so that they can be able to finish in time.